Hi, everyone. A key part of what we're building with our industrial ML platform is the ability to serve not just a wide variety of manufacturing industries, but a wide variety of geographies all over the world. And something that's obviously very critical to that is being able to ensure that our platform is usable in any number of different languages without requiring a huge degree of additional effort when we're going from language to language. These tools are now especially applicable to the modern manufacturer because even manufacturing within a single factory may be more of a global enterprise. So we have team members who communicate across a number of different languages. And while we functionally are able to use English for most of our communication, we're developing a platform that needs to at least be usable in both Japanese and Vietnamese. Historically, the way that these types of collaborations have succeeded is by getting everybody to learn the same language. But that obviously limits some of the opportunities and some of the people who can be involved in those opportunities. Even if we're not even talking about the global collaboration between companies or within companies, even if you go to a single site of a factory itself, in the manufacturing industry, there are a lot of migrant workers who seek employment. This is where tools for modern native language communication suddenly become very, very helpful to factories. In the software world, we refer to internationalization as a way to build software so that it can be moved into different languages without additional engineering work, and localization as the act of translating text itself into what suits the particular locale. And I'm referring to this as localization rather than purely as translation, because as anyone who's worked in a factory understands, there's a lot of jargon associated with manufacturing that really doesn't lend itself very well to Google Translate. A common software application that makes it much easier to translate text for factories, even given that specific jargon, is GetText. And it's an example of a process that is often used now in software built for manufacturing to encourage this type of localization, which is to just build a script that has a set of keywords alongside their translations, which is something that can be worked through with a customer one time, and then can apply that translation to all manner of elements of the product that you provide to a customer. And this is something that we do in a number of different settings within our platform. I'll provide two examples of this. One is with our real-time data monitoring system. And this is something that factories across the world can adapt to very easily. We bring in real-time data from sensors, from other enterprise software, from cameras, and we use GetText to be able to present all the information that we get in whatever language is appropriate to the IP address that you are logging in from. So if you are logging into your site from Japan, everything will automatically be presented in Japanese. If I'm logging in from the US, everything automatically gets presented in English. And I can just change the settings on my browser to default to a different language depending on where I am or who I'm talking to. And when I do that, what gets presented is not just Google's default translation, but our actual GetText translation of everything that has the appropriate jargon for the site that we're talking to. We don't just use this for our visual dashboards, though. We can also use this for audio. The same type of translation tool can then be paired with text-to-speech software so that, say, if an operator is on the production floor and an alert comes up that says your furnace temperature has gone haywire or your welding current is too high, that can go to their audio headset instead of them necessarily having to look at it on a dashboard. Why are these two specific examples of localization particularly valuable to a typical factory? Well, the visual ones should be fairly obvious. Anyone from engineers to managers to line operators to the C-level would love to be able to open up a browser and be able to see what the status of their factory is by looking at a dashboard or looking at a set of alerts in their local language. And if, say, somebody who is working in India wants to communicate with someone who is working in Japan, it is fantastic for each of them to be able to communicate in their own language without necessarily having to worry about the language barrier. With audio, our ability to provide translated text in an audio format helps promote the safety of operators on the production floor because they get distracted by so many different visual cues in the factory already between all of the different metrics they have to view, all the machines they have to look at, the fact that they're in a place that could potentially have a number of trip hazards, and the fact that it's loud and chaotic. That just is a feature of factories. So being able to say communicate to an audio headset, immediately translate it into the local language so that they don't have to process anything other than, okay, I heard this, I'll react, is a great way to ensure operator safety. And while, of course, the actual process of using audio to begin with is a critical part of that, the localization, the translation of the information that they're being presented is critical in order to be able to make that work. Internationalization and localization tools have been used around the world for a while now, but they're more applicable to the modern factory than they ever have been between the globalization of operations, the migration of workers, and the fact that when they are coupled with other tools that are available, especially through the industrial ML platform, they can ensure operator safety and operator responsiveness to anything that happens on the production floor in real time. I look forward to talking to you all again soon. And if you want to hear more information, just contact us at info@industrialml.com or visit industrialml.com. Thanks.